Y'all, someone ate too much pizza, and it wasn't me for once.
For once.
Like, he's burping, and I can smell it from here.
Welcome to my world.
It smells like meatballs and like pizza maker sweat.
That reminds me of a guy I fucked once who worked at a pizza joint.
Just smelled like olive oil. You used it for lube.
Mozzarella and cum is not a bad smell.
Oh my God! Disgusting.
When the moon is your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's a gay sex.
That's a gay sex.
You're so loud right now. I think it's because you're screaming.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, gay.
Let's love.
Welcome to Reality Gay.
T-minus this show, and I get to ship you off for another... to go deal with something called cancer.
Something called cancer my dad has.
Like I said before, I haven't seen a hospital report. I have no proof.
I showed him one picture of my dad in a hospital bed, and he said, "Is this photoshopped?"
I'm like, gonna need a little more.
He thinks I just want to get away from him.
I need rambling.
Yeah.
I need to see talk screens.
Oh, yes. Thank y'all for the thoughts and prayers and all that.
In all seriousness, he is going back tomorrow. We've gotten a lot of work done.
A lot of work done. We got this rebranding done.
Yeah.
Discover, y'all, it's official.
They've fucked off.
They sent us an email and said, "Thank you for your cooperation in this matter."
And we, after like having them like throat fucking us, for like 3 months,
3 months.
Thank you. We'll take another.
Yes, while I'm dealing with all this shit. Sure.
Well, Discovery skull fucked our eye sockets.
Yeah, sure. My dad just thought in the hospital his dog was in the room and he got up and pissed everywhere. And you just sent me that email. Let me get on that, Discovery attorney.
Assholes.
Anyway, we've got
we're
the email.
done. The rebrand is done.
It's all fucking signed, sealed, delivered.
Oh, God. Thank God. Y'all, but to be honest, it's gonna be a good thing for us. It's gonna free us up to do all different kinds of shows. We're excited to see what 2021 holds for us.
True. Like Bling Empire.
Yes.
Y'all, that's the new show that dropped this week. If you're wondering what the fuck is on their feed, we've already, as we're doing this episode, we've already dropped the first episode. I'm planning on dropping the other two tonight.
Netflix's Bling Empire.
Netflix's Bling Empire. It's
Asian American youths in Los Angeles. They are very, very wealthy, and they throw around their money.
They do. We've recorded at this time. We've done like 5 episodes.
5 episodes.
We really like it, and we've done already one of our conversations with other podcasters.
Yeah, it's we kind of wanted to reach out to podcasters who weren't like us, so we reached out to AAPI podcasters, Asian American Pacific Islander, and said, "What do you think about this? What's your gauge on this representation?"
And
what do you think?
It was really mind opening to see that, because the way the show presents itself and talks about itself, it often says, well, Asians in America think this way.
Right.
And then we question that, watching that, but we don't know. And we love that people we already had are like, yeah, that's not the way it is.
We actually did one today. It'll be episode 2. Will be coming out soon with 2 podcasters from Add to Cart, which is a relatively new podcast. And the hosts are Kulat Vilaysak and Suchin Pak.
Yep.
And
of MTV fame.
And
'Cause I know somebody just Suchin Carl. Carl, is it that pretty girl on the MTV that
who was with Kurt Loder?
your cousin Nelda used to watch, and we had to turn it off because it was Satanism.
But and Suchin was co-host of Who Charted on Earwolf for almost like 8 years.
Long time. So,
so
we had a great conversation with them.
Cool Up. Did I say Suchin? I meant Cool Up.
Cool Up, yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all, we were going to do the first two, but honestly, we had a lot of fun, and we just felt like our third episode was a really fun, good episode.
Yeah.
So the first 3 episodes of that are going to be on the regular podcast feed, and after that, they are going to go behind the Gatreon wall at the $5 tier. So there you go. If you want to, so try before you buy.
Definitely check that out, you guys. It was a fantastic conversation. Even if you don't want to listen to our unbelievable recap that we did for
unbelievable. Oh, yes.
But check out our conversation with Suchin and Kulap, because we had so much fun. Just so many interesting things that we'd never thought about, and then they were bringing up things. I always love it when we meet two people who also get each other. Like Kulap and Suchin have been working together
for a long time,
and I think they've been friends for a while. They haven't been working together for very long.
Yes,
but I just love seeing other people's relationships.
Yeah,
because I know what ours is like, and I can't wait to get rid of you. But
same. Get me on that plane.
I know.
Get me on that plane.
I've spent at least 12 to 14 hours a day with you
for a long
the
time.
last 5 or 6 days.
Got a lot done.
And you're starting to smell on my couch.
Yeah. Same.
Anyway.
So, y'all, that's going to be... Now, speaking of collabs, we're going to be doing the Crappies this Thursday. Y'all, that is the Watch What Crappens awards show they do every year. So, the Crappies, we're going to be doing a segment on... It's a live show. I do not know... That said, I don't know anything about it. I think you pay. It's a paid live show, isn't it? Or is it free?
I don't know.
We're talking about this, and we know.
They asked us to do, and we're like, sure.
But I have no idea if it costs money or what. I'm going to put the website, watchwhatcrappens.com. I'll put that in the show notes so you can go there and find your own information on it.
We're like the girl at the dance who's like, you want to dance with me? I'm like, sure.
Y'all, I'm too exhausted to look right now. We've been doing a lot.
We're presenting the segment Best Non-Bravo show, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, that's going to be happening. Any other announcements, Poodle?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Thank y'all for your feedback on our new theme song for Bling Empire. We know you enjoyed it.
We had a good time on that.
It is. We did have a good...
It's quite stylized.
It is.
And I think it's very arousing.
I told Poodle I wanted to make a music video, and he screamed at me and said, we don't have time for this, motherfucker. And he was right.
I know.
He was right.
Sometimes I am.
Sometimes.
Very few.
Sometimes.
Let's just jump right in to the show.
Okay.
We're
just gonna get it over with, aren't we?
Y'all, Brandon and Julia, this season may as well be called Brandon and Julia Day Fiancé.
Y'all, this is that guy that just won't come. You're just working at it. You're just you're yanking that chain.
You're checking your watch. You're looking at the shot clock.
You said you had to pee and you went to the bathroom just to shake it out. Actually,
you've also said it's okay if you don't come. I'm fine. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Just so you guys are aware, if straight men are listening, it's not okay if you don't come.
It's not. It's not. What's the point?
I know. Maybe women find that okay.
No, that's actually I've been with men and we don't have to come, and sometimes it's been just like the connection that we have with one another, and just kind of the energetic. You don't get anything.
I don't follow you. Don't follow you. I'm not familiar with anything you're saying.
He is looking at me like I just went.
If there's not jizz coating my face or my entire body,
right,
I'm not following you.
Well.
If there's no fireworks, not interested.
And this is why my 13-year-old cousin can't listen to this show. Which she said, I want to listen to your podcast, Uncle Matt.
No. Try again in 5 years, honey.
Try again.
Even
in 5
then,
years.
you're too young.
She just wants to listen because we have a popular podcast she told my cousin, she said,
We're
think,
popular.
She said, I think Matt's famous. And we're not.
No.
Not. We're not.
This bitch still, even if we weren't in Corona, this bitch still couldn't get a table at fucking Matzah.
No. Nobody. No. I'm still.
Y'all, we're not famous.
Y'all, I'm fine driving my little Toyota CHR around town. I am not famous. I love my Toyota.
I think we're like we're as far as 90-day podcasts go, we're kind of right in the middle of it. And we're happy about that.
We're well known enough to have a bad reputation.
That is the truth. And I own that.
I own it too. Everybody's like, oh, is that the Filthy Show?
Are those the two petty cunts?
Yeah.
Who, yep, that's us. Guilty.
Are we recording? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No.
We were doing that crossover today, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. And I was listening to Add to Cart, and I was thinking, this is so well produced. And I'm thinking, we usually begin a show by saying, are we recording?
It is very well produced. I really like that. I listened to
It's a great show.
It's the whole thing about the consumerism, what we add to our carts figuratively, kind of like the
and
metaphor.
What we're into.
What does that mean? And they're just interesting people. So great conversation.
Great conversation. Check it out, y'all. Add to cart. Add it to your podcast list. Subscribe.
But Poodle, we should stop talking about this because we got to get up early and feed those animals.
Oh, okay.
Got to get up early.
I need to say something about the whole. First of all, we've said this before.
Can't get comfortable.
This is exactly. I told you. I even told him. I told Maddie, don't let me eat 3 pieces of pizza, and I decided not to. Guess what bitch went back to the kitchen to get a 3rd piece of pizza, and I judged him for it, harshly rebuked him. And he ate it in front of me, and now he's feeling sad about it.
I didn't make fun of you last night when I said, oh, let's see if these flaming hot Cheetos are good in the French onion dip. And we opened the French, and you said, maybe. And we opened the French onion dip, y'all, and there's just red streak marks from where he had dipped chips in it the night before.
I might have eaten it late at night. After we had done 4 Bling Empires in a day.
And you know what, y'all? Flaming hot Cheetos with French onion dip?
Good. It's a success.
Success. Anyway, so yeah, what do you want to say about that?
This is the most overproduced storyline of this season.
I wrote the same thing.
We are getting this thing was storyboarded.
It feels like it was story moments were drafted and written.
They are giving us 3 squares of this story, and it is so obnoxious.
Betty, no one is this much of a bitch.
And I think the main fallacy,
Or
the whole story is built on one kernel that doesn't make sense to me. That Julia is supposed to work at the farm to earn her keep because she's Brandon's wife. And the farm doesn't really make money because it's a hobby farm.
It's a hobby farm. Y'all
so
remember
they're not selling soybeans.
They're not, no.
So there's no money to be made.
There's no money to be made.
So who the fuck cares?
Exactly.
And if you really wanted to do any of this, you could hire Aspen or someone else to work your farm. You don't need to have your son's new Russian fiancé out there feeding the sheep when she doesn't want to do it.
She doesn't want to do it.
And then there's talking to him. They're like, son, don't you want this? This is your birthright.
I wrote down at the beginning of this episode,
is this 3 acres of shit?
He doesn't
He
want
doesn't
this.
give a fuck.
And I wrote, and maybe this is the only part that I think may be true. I think that Brandon, if this farm thing is legit and they want to give it to him, I can see Brandon using Julia as his excuse because he never wanted to do it anyway.
Right. I'm just. This is the
Brandon's
fallacy.
Gross.
We mentioned it a little bit last week. They actually weren't in the episode last week, but there's a terrible. I believe it's an Instagram. Maybe it's on their YouTube channel.
I think, yeah.
Don't watch it. We'll book report it right now for you. Don't watch it. Don't give them the listens. Don't. I think it's on his Instagram.
Yes.
Where he's like, some people have accused me of saying that Julia's like slave labor, and like him being pulled on like a lawnmower or something, and he falls up at one point. And he like yells at her, and then gets a whip out and looks and appears to whip whoever's at the camera. We don't ever see Julia. It's just something in the worst taste possible. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And so don't give him the views, you guys. He's a shitty garbage person who has no knowledge of what's right or wrong to put on the internet.
Agreed.
It's a garbage thing.
Agreed.
Anyway, so
Agreed.
But I still say this is all predicated
Brandon,
on a
I hope
lie.
you're listening. Hope you're listening,
He's not.
Brandon. Enjoy the show.
On the farm, they don't get reception.
Yeah, it's true.
It's all HughesNet.
It's all huge.
But I'm saying all this is predicated on a falsehood. The whole storyline.
Because do you think, is it really that problematic, do you think?
Well, I think the parents are being encouraged to do more and more, to say, you got to do stuff with the farm.
Because
you're eating our food, blah, blah, blah.
Well, let's jump into I've never seen parents so preoccupied with their son's sex life in my life.
Oh, God.
Get a fucking room.
The parents leave town for the night, or leave the farm for the night, which I don't know why. They're coming back the next morning. Maybe they have their own bang trip.
Maybe. Maybe they're banging.
And so it's
Don and Betty.
It's fuck time at the farm. And they jump in the hot tub. She's naked.
He's naked.
He jumps in. We get the name of the episode, You So Bad Boy. And then they're in the hot tub, and we assume there's some hanky-panky going on.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a little bit of the next day. We know their parents are back again. And she's like, I wish your parents were not here. Which I also wish that for them.
And Brandon said it was like a little taste of what our life could be like.
And this is another thought. The fact that she never knew she was going to be involved in this.
I was going to bring that up too.
This is not a life that you bring someone into.
Surprise! This is not. This is like the reality version of Green fucking Acres.
Yeah.
Which, guess what, was a fictional show. This is not what you do.
And the fact that when you invite your fiancé over from another country, you're going to be spending time alone with them.
Yeah.
And you're going to be kind of learning how to live. And this is your time.
Yeah.
This is your 90 days.
Yeah.
None of this is happening for them. He gets up early, does his farm chores, leaves, then he maybe has 4 to 5 hours with her a day and spends most of it with his family. It's the same Joey Lara thing, too, or Yara,
but
too.
don't a lot of people that work Monday through Friday, it's not like they see each other a lot.
No, I get that. I'm saying all of this feels like a sham. The whole storyline.
Question.
Yeah.
What would you do when your parents left for the night and left you alone?
Who was I, Brandon or Julia? Was I the fiancé or the fiancée?
Oh, I was going to ask what really in life, or did your parents never leave y'all alone?
Oh no, they never left. You mean my brother and I, or just like? They left us alone, but gave us strict instructions, and we were too afraid of our parents ever to like fuck around.
Oh,
yeah.
So what would you have done on this farm if you were Julia?
I would have asked to fuck in his parents' bed.
Wow.
Yep. Because that in my brain would have gotten back at them. And then left condoms in the wastebasket.
That weren't used?
No, that were used.
No, because they don't like to use condoms. Because
that's true.
Remember 90 Day Bears All. Brandon doesn't like the way it
I don't like
feels.
condoms. You know what, honey? Get used to it.
What would you do if you were Brandon? Probably same.
Same.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Same. What about you?
You know, oddly enough, this is probably not wonderful to say as my dad, y'all, my dad's back in the hospital again. He's not doing great, but we'll see, one step every day. When my dad left town and I was home alone with my first boyfriend, we did fuck in his bed.
You screwed in his bed.
We fucked in his bed.
Nice. Ugh, I don't want to ever think about you having sex.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh.
No,
that's
please.
what I do.
Please, no.
That's what I do. You know what? Next time you jack off and have an orgasm, just say my name.
No.
Just go like, May.
No. That will make it shrivel. I'll go in.
Next time you're watching that,
I'll go inside
your
myself.
Tim Tales or your wrestling porn or whatever you watch. I want my face to pop in your head of me going, Poodle!
No. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin that for me. Yeah, that's like a bigger boner killer than like Miss Jane Hathaway from the Beverly Hillbillies.
She was kind of handsome.
Anyway, so the next day, Betty and Dawn are back, and Betty's like, Brandon, come out here. I need to talk to you about something. Yo, and Mother Poodle says, I need to talk to you about something. It was never something good.
It was never
You were
something
worried.
Good. No, for my mom, it wasn't bad. It was, if she said, I need to talk to you about something, it was something that was, it was like when she pulled me inside. It wasn't necessarily that I was in trouble, but it was something she was uncomfortable to talk about. Like, so when she caught me having heavy petting with my girlfriend.
She used the term heavy petting.
I've told this story. Remember, I was.
Oh, that's
it
right.
Was the day my girlfriend came over and we made out on her bed, and I was
Can
kissing
you
on her
not
boobs.
say girlfriend?
My girlfriend, and I was kissing on her boobs, and then the next day, my mom.
How'd she know?
Because my mom probably was snuck back and watched or something like that.
Jesus.
My mom was nosy.
That's some Eyes Wide Shut shit.
She read my diary.
Gross.
Never told you that when my brother kept sneaking out of the house all the time and my mom was trying to catch him, she put a baby monitor under his bed.
Yeah, you told
for
me
a
that,
month.
yeah.
Don't fuck with Mama Mara. She will find out. She is nosy as fuck. Anyway, I was kissing on my girlfriend's boobs. I guess my mom saw us or something. Because I left the door open because we had to. And then the next night, my mom and I were watching the Annette Funicello story. And she said...
As straight boys do with their mothers.
It was a made-for-TV movie. And my mom said, son, don't you think that's a little bit of... well, I'd just like to talk to you about it. Don't you think that's a little bit of heavy petting? And I would go...
Mom!
I didn't say mom. When I got real gay...
Mother!
I would be like, oh, mother. And then she would say, don't say mother. You sound like a girl. Close.
Yeah. You might have been the girl she always needed.
Do you ever call your mom mother?
Sometimes. Usually I was like, Mom, please. Mother, please. Sometimes. So...
And what's happening? What are we talking about?
So basically, Betty's saying
the hot tub is barely shut.
We gotta like talk about the hot tub. You guys didn't shut it.
You didn't shut it.
You didn't like do what you should have. And you know what? And the water's all cloudy. And my first thought is, yeah, and it's probably got about 100,000 sperm in it.
Sperm. Sperm is the word. Sperm.
And she's like, and I know, she's like, did you go in there with clothes? Because sometimes like dryer sheets and everything that gets in it, they sound crazy.
Okay.
She sounds like a fucking loon
They
talking
sound
about
crazy.
this.
And someone posted this in the Sissy Squad, and sissies are answering of how crazy their parents were about the pH level of the hot tub. One sissy said,
Is it a thing?
I guess it's a thing. Every time they got out of the hot tub, they had to like scrub the sides of the hot tub because it left like film.
Wow.
So apparently it is a thing. And as Betty says, this is for therapeutic purposes. And I thought, I'm already thinking of you and Don or Gary or whatever the father's name is again, like getting in this fucking naked.
Oh.
Y'all, Don has totally finger banged Betty in that hot tub.
But Brandon and Julia fucked in that hot tub, right? That water is 1% jism.
Probably, yeah. Probably. I
Just
mean, I
making
don't know if
sure.
I want to fuck in a hot tub. I feel like that would dry things out.
You
I
know,
feel like it just put a lot of water up your
I've never had sex
butt.
in water.
Oh, now pool sex is great.
Gross.
What? You feel skinny. Because the guys can just hold you and throw you around everywhere. You've never felt so slim in your life. I wish, as someone who fears being husky, I wish pool sex for you.
Listen, I would think
you
that...
would be like fucking what's her name in Showtime or Showgirls, where she's Elizabeth,
yeah.
where she's just ow, 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 ow. That would be you.
Well, no, my thing is that like I don't know. It's the water. I would think would not like because water isn't lube.
I know.
You just can't. It's different. I think things would get. You know what? This is too much.
I'm just saying. It worked for me.
But that was when you were a lot younger and a lot more supple.
Yeah, my ass used to make its own lube. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Now it's just like an old squid.
Get the water hose, baby. I'm ready.
Just hoses you down.
Hoses you down.
So it's very uncomfortable hearing them talk about the hot tub.
I want to open my legs. Yeah, so they talk about this hot tub. They're like, Brandon starts to laugh, and she looks at him and says, stop.
This is not funny. So he's completely a child. He's 20-something, but he acts like he's 12.
He acts like he's 12. Yeah.
So Julia's
and I actually think Julia's a little bit more mature than him. However, I think Julia's pretty emotionally immature too.
Yeah.
I think
they're both really young.
Yeah. They just want to fucking party. That's all they want to do.
Yeah, they don't want to be adults.
Who does? Yeah.
So Julia's like, why are you always all the time saying, yes, mother, yes, I'll do whatever you want to. She's like, he needs to be strong. He needs to take care of me. And she walks away and she's like, don't touch me. Anyway, Ron and Betty are talking.
Ron, that's his name.
Ron and Betty. And they're talking, yeah, Brandon's not doing his chores anymore. The farm is just going to waste. Because we make zero money off the farm. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Because sissies at our farm, we have farmer sissies.
Yes, we do.
Come at us, farming sissies.
Any farmer sissy who is seeing this and seeing them lose it about chores on the farm is just not having it.
No.
Yeah. So
yeah, because they basically are talking about how y'all just if you're a hobby farm, it's like people just want to have a little farm. And
right.
They
and maybe also, they'll bring people to the farm to look if they want to make a little money, but they have jobs.
I'm just going to say this, and this I don't think this will offend people. I don't mean it to be looksist.
God.
I don't mean it to be looksist. I'm coming from it from my own perspective.
Yeah.
Of knowing a lot of farmers where I grew up. My grandpa was a farmer.
Yeah.
He retired from the railroad and then he worked farming. He sold stuff on his farm, so like he actually worked. Does Don look like a farmer to you?
No.
I don't know any farmer who has this nice of a haircut. And he wears
fair.
He wears like fucking Eddie Bauer to farm in. Like
they're bougie farmers.
This is not a farm. My grandpa wore overalls. We would have to beg him not to wear overalls to a wedding.
I think this is a hobby farm, and we're not used to that.
So, but I'm just saying though, if they were working I just don't know any career farmers who look like this.
I agree with that.
Although, come to think of it, that hot guy Richard from my graduating class that used to be a farmer, a pig farmer, oof.
You could get with that.
I don't even remember what he was wearing, but who cares?
You could get with this, or you could get with that. So they're talking, and he's like, I don't think he's just mostly bringing her tea in the morning. Brandon's really down on his chores. I'm going to have to talk to him about being up on his responsibilities.
And Betty's like, I'd love for them both to be a farm life, so that way, y'all, this is so cliche. She literally says, I'd rather gain a daughter instead of losing a son.
Ugh.
And then they cut to, this is where I was kind of like, okay, this is super fake.
With the 50s music?
No, with Brandon bringing her tea.
I'm saying, but it's 50s music underneath
yeah,
this.
Yeah. It was just so...
And the baby talk.
It was like just too sugary and sweet.
Baby talk, you're the princess.
I mean...
This is scripted, by the way.
Give me the days of me and Omar and Mama Terry coming in and yelling at Avery. Oh,
I've got to say,
God, I miss Mama Terry.
This season, you guys, this couple especially, and I'm trying to think who else is. I feel like Rebecca and Zied are really, we're really reaching for them too.
Yeah,
but this couple is just too much. I'm grossed out.
I was really excited by her. I still like Julia.
Yeah.
I just don't love Brandon or his family.
But we're creating a basis for fan outrage. That's the only reason this whole farm storyline is there.
Yeah, they want fans to get upset.
Yeah, and they want fans to care about this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And
that said, Brandon does have a cute butt.
Yeah, he's okay. He's just some fucking Iowa twink who would show up at Mickey's. I would make out with for a little bit.
Boy.
But I wouldn't go home with him.
Boy.
I had bigger fish to fry.
Y'all, you know what Poodle said earlier tonight? I was like, we were watching, and I said, I would fuck Tarik. I'd do that. And Poodle said, in the saddest voice.
It's true. Me too.
Me too.
Because I literally thought where I was right now. And then I thought of the likelihood of Tarik walked into my house right now, even knowing what I know about him.
And seeing him rap.
Seeing him do hot sauce.
But knowing that he probably has a decent penis.
And knowing how hard up I am.
And his nice arms.
And I kind of pictured it, and I'm like, I'd give him 20 minutes. That's all it would take, y'all. That's all he can ever last. I promise you.
I don't know about that.
Oh, trust me. I've got...
Who do you think's better bet, Tarik or Dean?
Tarik.
I think so, too. I think
Dean is all talk.
His girlfriend's pregnant.
Really?
Oh, yeah, she's pregnant. He lives in somewhere.
I think he lives in the Philippines.
I'm afraid he's going to be on the other way, and I'm concerned about that.
Ugh.
I hope not.
I don't like either of them. So... basically, there's all this baby talk, and he's like, they're talking about something. She's like, well, you need to do this, and I'm like, she doesn't have to do shit. You didn't tell her anything.
Julia doesn't have to do fucking shit.
Let's say that again. Julia, as someone who is coming to this place, now, because Brandon is making her live at this farm, that's Brandon's problem. Julia doesn't have to do shit. I'm so sick of it.
And
I'm
she
sick
shouldn't
of
have
going
to be
back and
guilted
forth.
into doing
Yes.
chores.
It's like, and you know this whole idea of, on the farm, we all pitch in. Not if you're a fucking 90-day fiance.
You know what I think was the gross about it? It feels like this American purity test.
Yeah,
almost.
I agree with you.
Like, what is her worth?
I agree with you.
Anyway, it doesn't get any easier, y'all, because their segment keeps on going.
I keep writing, oh, God, we're back at the farm again. No.
Back at the farm
no!
again. Every time Poodle would scream, he'd go, no. They're back at the farm, and Brandon's playing PlayStation with Julia on the bed, and Dad comes back, and he was like, or Mom, is it Dad or Mom?
It doesn't matter.
Someone comes back and says, we need to speak with you. And then they go and sit on rocking chairs with blankets. And I really love that.
Yeah.
I miss that. Did you ever do that back home? Sit on a porch with some blankets?
No, it's either too cold or there are bugs outside.
Ah.
You know what? When we go on vacation, we would.
It does get buggy in the summer, yeah.
Yeah. Or if it's outside, if you're outside, it's just too cold. You just go inside.
Y'all get snow where you're from?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But in general, we would spend time outside, and when it got cold, we would not get blankets out. You go inside and go to the fireplace.
What, would it get really hot in the summer?
Yeah.
Like 100 degrees?
Yeah. With 100% humidity.
Ugh.
It's disgusting.
I'm only going to your hometown in the fall.
We have beautiful seasons in South Carolina. Unfortunately, the shitty ones are a little rough. The summers are rough.
Yeah.
And some of the winters are rough. Spring and fall are gorgeous. A lot of rain.
Okay.
Especially since global warming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Some people say so.
Some people say so. Some people say so.
Scientists, I believe.
Scientists. Trust
Yeah.
your scientists, y'all. Okay, so they go sit on the porch, and Dad's like, there are some things we aren't happy with, son.
The amount of privilege that the parents just need to lecture them.
She said,
this
"But
is
it's
disgusting.
son, you don't help with the animals anymore. You aren't doing anything. And Brandon, we would like to help. And Julia, you don't have to help, but we'd like you to.
Right. No, you do not have to help, and you do not have to, and we have nothing to do with you.
And Julia says, kind of in her testimonial, I came here to marry your son, not to work on your farm.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Period. End of sentence.
Y'all, if this storyline is true, Julia, if you are listening to this, because you
Run.
are, fucking go back home. Or you're hot. Find another American guy if you really want to move to the U.S., but I don't think she cares. Fucking go back home and go dance and have fun.
I agree.
If I was a go-go dancer, if I had that body and that lifestyle, oh my God, I would not stop until I was either A, dead from drugs, or B, so fucking old that they literally told me, Maddie, you can't go-go dance here anymore.
If you were a go-go dancer, the world would be upside down.
I'm just saying. I did it once.
No.
I did.
No.
I did. I went out for my birthday and we went to, what's the bear bar? Not the Eagle. Is it the Eagle?
You mean Bullet in Burbank?
No, maybe it was the Eagle.
Oh, the Eagle in Silver Lake.
Well, I went out and I didn't know my friends took me out, and we had been bar hopping on my birthday. I was already a little tipsy, and then they got me more drunk. And
Did you take off your clothes?
It was ginger night at the bar.
So you were exploited.
And so I was in boxer shorts, dancing up on with they had all the gingers in the bar. Get up, and I just took off my shirt.
Did you get a lot of money?
I made $80.
Shut up!
I did. One guy stuck his hand on my dick and gave me a 20, and I was fine with it.
I think we know why you made $80. Usually they don't let people do that.
No, he did. I was like, sure.
I think you were assaulted.
I enjoyed it. Yo, if you give me money, you can touch my body. I don't care.
Wow.
What?
I didn't know this side of you.
Well,
I'm disturbed.
What? It's the same thing. You play this wooden box with keys on it, and people give you money. People touch my box and give me money. It's the same thing.
I think mine actually took a little learning.
You know what? I worked very hard on my hanky panky dance with Madonna and my opposites attract dance number.
Ugh, I can't. We can't unpack that right now. So
$80, y'all.
Dad is basically saying that he then says, I try to get her to do things, but sometimes when I'm laying in bed with her, I just don't want to go and work on the farm.
She just is so.
He throws her under the fucking bus
right there, and
it's
she
so
says
awful.
What do you mean? Don't say my mistake.
Yeah, and so then they blame her, and he's like, well, Brandon, I just think you need to stay out of her room then. Otherwise, you won't work on the farm. Because women
are so tempting and evil.
Women will make you weak, son.
Don't bite that apple, Adam. Because Eve will get you.
We're all, look at your mom. I every morning I just don't have to fight the urge to ravish her.
Y'all. That's where this all comes down from, and it bothers me. There's this idea, ever since the fucking Adam and Eve story in the Bible, that women are don't pull over, y'all.
Don't pull over.
And that women are evil. I just want to say.
It's not that women are evil, it's that women are temptresses. And men are
weak.
Men have no defenses. It's like that it's like Amy and Danny. It's like, I'm just so weak. We need to get married away.
Yes.
Or like Kiriam and Alan. They're like, I'm just so afraid I'm going to ravage her with my male impulses. My penis has a mind of its own. Fuck you.
Eve didn't give Adam an apple. He was fucking hungry and got it himself. He didn't do shit.
So, and that snake was a big old queer.
A big queer.
Eve, I'm going to come to you fast.
Eve was too smart. She's like, I'm not fucking with these assholes. I don't think that story's true.
So she, they're basically everything else is, she's going to his room and she's like, tell me what you feel. He's like, when you're not here, I managed to get things done. He blames her again.
He takes responsibility for nothing. It makes me so angry that I'm going to get up and get an Oreo. So we should take a commercial break right now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We're not even through the story.
I don't care. I want an Oreo. We're going to be
Fine.
back. Y'all, we just heard this sound, and I thought it was Poodle's asshole. Just ready. Hank calling.
Hankering.
Like an Irish maiden, like in a sad Irish song on the sea.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like the sirens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brigadoon lovers.
I'm sorry. Oh,
You have no right.
is it you that hates that show?
No, I think the score is good. I find the last 30 minutes to be absolutely terrible.
I just remembered your opinion on this, and I don't want to hear it again because you're going to go in a soapbox, as you did last time.
Yeah. I love the score. But just the idea that these people are back in New York, and they're like, remember when we were in that town that wasn't there? And everything was great? What does that get us? Nothing. It's a book problem. It's a book problem with the show.
All right.
Beautiful book, though. Or beautiful score, though.
Beautiful score.
Y'all don't pull over. We got some ambulances coming. Y'all send good vibes out to Los Angeles, especially our hospitals.
Boy.
We're having a real problem
We are.
here.
1 in 3 people in Los Angeles have COVID now.
That's not true.
What?
1 in 3 people who get tested.
Yes, get tested. Sorry.
I've corrected you on this before.
You know what? You think you do a better job.
Don't come here for news.
I'm just saying.
Especially to this one. 1 in 3 who are tested. If you get tested, 1 in 3 test positive.
By the way, somebody sent Poodle a message on Instagram. Y'all really don't pull over. Bless their
damn.
hearts. I hope they're okay. Someone sent Poodle an Instagram message saying, sometimes y'all mess up your facts or you say the wrong things. You might want to check that out. Wrong
and
show,
I was like,
bitch.
how long have you been listening?
Wrong show. So
I try my best, y'all, to check him.
We always appreciate a correction.
Yeah, we
always,
do.
Always,
we
always,
do.
Always. But if you're like, actually, I don't think this person was upset, but I'm just saying, if you're upset and you're like, God damn it, Jennifer, I'm going to email those gays and tell them they fucked up where
I would do
Zied is from.
I would do yes and.
I'm like, no.
And water is wet. We're wrong.
You're listening to the wrong show.
Don't come for us for news.
No.
I mean, we try to be insightful about, some people's, motivations and try to be perceptive about that. But and occasionally one of us will throw in a blind squirrel will find a nut.
Yeah. I really like it when we give parenting advice, when we have no fucking business doing that.
I'm like, well, for my niece and nephews, I know what I do works.
We don't have any fucking clue about raising kids. Don't talk to us.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you about it.
Yeah, that's the problem with us. We've got opinions about everything.
We're idiots.
And I'm not sorry.
Not sorry. Oh, I've had a cookie and I'm still on Brandon and Julia.
I bet you there was 40 minutes of them.
Oh, sure.
I bet you there was 40 fucking minutes of this couple.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we kept thinking, boy, there's nothing with Mike and Natalie. And they made up for that.
And then they made up in the last 10 minutes. Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
So, they're kind of talking, and he's like, when you're here, I don't manage to get things done, and we have the rest of our lives together. We just have to get through this time at the farm.
He's like, but it'll be different when we're married. And she says, will it?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, he basically says, Julia's the dynamic between myself and my parents have always been great, but since Julia's been here, it's not been great. Are you really blaming her?
Yes. He takes no responsibility for anything. And I will say, whether this is made up or not, he is going to shirk any responsibility for his actions.
Totally.
And I'm calling it now, Brandon will cheat on Julia.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
He's got that because
give it 10 years, Julia, he's going to fuck someone else.
He cares about his own needs first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and he always wants to be the Boy Scout, so he's always trying to look good in other people's eyes.
This we are good at predicting.
Yeah. So
Taz always went to the Boy Scout.
I wrote down, you want her to fit in your life. That's it.
And
you are not going to compromise one bit.
Yep.
She's going to fit into the farm. She's going to come and take care of the animals. Because don't all girls love animals?
No.
Don't all girls want to feed animals and clean up their shit?
No.
But that's what he's learned on the farm.
That's what he learned. No. And not all boys want to do that either. Me.
I don't want to be on the
Grandpa
farm.
used to try to get me to do farm work. I did not
No,
enjoy
thank
it.
you.
No,
thank you.
And then after the rooster incident, I never had to do it again.
When the rooster tried to peck your eyes out?
Yeah, I ran in the house crying to Grandma Valley.
We need to move on.
I'm just
I
saying. can't
can't get into Grandma Valley.
And then she taught me how to make bread instead.
Well, there you
And
go.
strawberry jam.
So, they are the next day. They are. Julia did not get up, and they're like, "Well, guess Julia's not going to be up to help us work at 5 a.m. at the farm again." And she does finally get up, and I shouldn't say finally because it's probably 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's like, "Oh, can I have some tea?" She's like, "Nope, too late.
Don't have
Gotta go
time for that.
outside."
Gotta go work. Come on, Julia.
And
Welcome to America.
oh God! So then they're like feeding the goats. Mom has Julia because we segregate people in The Handmaid's Tale.
Because Julia's from
Russia.
They have no idea of probably what, like, that is not an easy country to get ahead in Russia, to make money. I mean, it's probably, Julia probably knows what hard work is.
I don't
Don't
think
you
she
think?
does.
You
but
don't think so?
I don't think she's ever done hard labor, like a.
Go-go dancing's hard.
I think she was in a large she was in a large city, and she's a city girl. She knows nothing like this.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to get her the benefit of the doubt, but you're right.
I'm not.
Although
I'm
go-go
not-
dancing is very hard.
I'm not saying that she doesn't have the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying she probably hasn't done. She hasn't worked in a gulag.
I once slept with a go-go dancer, and he told
that you didn't pay for.
Yeah, surprisingly. And he had me, I remember after we had sex, he had me rub his balls that night because he was so sore from keeping them in a cock ring all night to make his dick look hard. And I thought, the stress of work.
The fact that you did it afterwards. I think that's where I pause.
Well, wound him up again and we fucked again.
What's the point then?
But it still helped him relax. But still,
his balls are going to be like slapping your ample butt
I'm
for
fine
the
with
rest
that.
of the time.
But he didn't have the cock ring when we had sex on. He had
Oh.
he had to have the cock ring on all night when he was at work to make his penis look big in the underwear. That's stressful.
What a life.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's not difficult to be a go-go dancer.
If
I
you're
just
a
don't
go-go
know.
dancer, come at Poodle. Or if you're a male go dancer,
Come on me.
Come on him.
So Mom is working her, and I would watch a whole show about Julia just talking to the animals when she's just like, "No, give baby food. Baby is not having food."
You crazy goat.
I think Julia's hysterically funny.
I do too.
Julia they should do pillow talk between Julia and Yara.
Oh,
That would be fantastic.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
not Brandon.
Not
Get
Brandon.
Julia and
not
Yara to
Jovi.
team up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
They would have so much fun
it'd
together.
be like when Larissa and
Jess.
Jess got together.
Yeah. They would have so much fun together.
I loved y'all. Speaking of, we don't talk too much about news, but and we don't post pictures of 90 Day People's OnlyFans on our
Especially
Facebook
in our
page.
Facebook group, because that's someone's paid content, y'all.
They're working.
They're
and
working
also,
for a living.
I just don't want it on our website.
Yeah.
I don't mean
And
that
no, it's
judgmental way.
also stolen
just-
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is on Instagram, Larissa fucking came
For
Elizabeth. Libby. Because y'all remember.
Who got an OnlyFans, and she's like, and Libby's like, well, at least I'm not a stripper. Now.
And I have to say, Larissa read her in the most passive aggressive
For
way.
filth.
It was beautiful. I enjoyed it.
I'm a Larissa stan.
I still am too.
So
They should put her back on the show.
I don't think that'll happen. No, the problem is she outsourced her contract.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the problem. So it wasn't because she was putting in an OnlyFans. It was just that it had nothing to do with the content she was doing. It was all legal, which they could not abide.
But we've learned the hard way.
Because, with Paul, you can threaten anyone. You can have
be a potential abuse.
You can do all these things. It doesn't matter. It's when you have legal problems, that's when they will drop you.
And y'all, we know about discovering legal problems.
We do. So Dad is trying to help Brandon with the hay, and he's like,
"Hey,"
and Brandon, all this can be yours one day. And I'm like,
then suddenly it was like,
Brandon, look as far as the sun touches.
All this is yours.
Brandon, this all can be yours.
The pigs
The pigs
over here eating
over there,
shit.
Shit. The goat
The chickens.
who will pluck your eyes out.
The dogs that are probably illegal.
Don't tell anyone.
"Y'all, we're talking about the Lion King." But boy,
This is a hobby farm.
it's a hobby farm.
God.
And you see Brandon's face. He's like, "Yeah,"
And
but
he's
no,
like,
but
he even says, Julia is my life now.
But-
I'm tired of this farm shit.
Julia doesn't make a bit of fucking difference. It's
Yep.
that he doesn't want to work on a goddamn farm. Brandon wants to play PlayStation on fucking Discord.
Agree.
And get paid for it.
Agree. That's exactly what he wants to
That's
do.
exactly what he wants to do.
And pest control technician.
I'd rather do that than work on. Actually, I'd rather work on a farm than.
I would rather do none of it.
Well, yeah.
I'd rather have sex for a living. If
You
I could
basically
I
do.
could be a sex worker, I would.
Good for
I'm saying
you.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do it.
It might be less fun than you think.
I think it would because
You would have to have sex with somebody like Big Ed.
Yeah, that would never happen.
That career's done.
As
y'all.
I said before, I wish I could be a sex worker, but choose who I had sex with. And I think someone said that's kind of what you normally do.
Yeah.
Just without the money.
You could have done that when you were in your 20s and had a golden asshole.
You know what's
and
weird?
You ruined it.
What's weird is golden asshole.
It's like
what's-
copper now.
What? That's the truth. What's weird is on
Boy, look at that patina.
on Grindr and other apps, I have had so many conversations with sex workers, and they're like my friends now.
Oh.
And I've hooked up with one or two of them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just always so interested to hear what they talk about. It's very interesting for me.
I actually think there is something there are like, especially like in San Francisco, where everybody's so just open and
Exhausting.
almost exhaustingly open. I think there is
Y'all, if you're a gay couple in San Francisco, you open.
you
open. Your
and,
relationship is open.
and you're probably ridiculous. You're probably
I'm sorry, I've
insufferable.
known way too many gay couples in San Francisco.
But there is I've seen,
Is there something burning?
yeah, it does smell like something's burning
Okay.
outside. Yeah. I think
Just as long as it's not my house.
Have I slept with a sex worker? Well, come on, I was with a go-go boy. But anyway,
They're
that's
not
different.
They don't have. They may or may not be sex
That's true.
workers.
That's true. I don't know if I have or not, but I've talked to friends, like
Yeah.
friends of friends that are sex workers, but I've never been with them. But I think there's something really
I've never been charged though.
beautifully
I guess I got a freebie.
therapeutic about it. I think for
I
some
agree with that.
people, and I think there'll be something very
They work through it.
very fulfilling of people that maybe don't get touch and I think those are things humans crave, and we're seeing this now in this pandemic, is that people aren't even just hugging one another. They're not.
Yeah.
It's just people aren't even in a lot of places able to get even a massage. So it's like it's this human. We need to be touched.
I'm hesitant to say this but I wrote a little. I'm going to say it anyway. Just don't steal my idea. My idea.
Okay.
Is I wrote a pandemic kind of story recently about a worker, not a sex worker, but someone who was COVID, immune, who went around and hugged people.
Aww.
For almost they charged them. Yeah, that was kind of their job.
Oh,
And it was a story about that.
that's sweet until they charged them money.
But that's the point.
Well, what if people don't have money to pay?
That's the point. That's the rub. But that was my kind of story, and it's I can't talk about it because it's part of a larger thing.
Oh,
so
okay. Don't give your ideas away.
I know I'm kind of sad I did now.
I'm not gonna edit it out. It's in there now.
It's fine, but no,
I'd watch that.
I have a take on it.
It's for a musical?
No, TV anthology series.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, I have good ideas sometimes.
You're gonna make me edit that out, aren't you?
No,
Okay.
you can keep it in there. You know, someone will take it, and hopefully it'll
reach out.
already be in production by now.
Exactly. Reach out and fuck someone.
How'd you know what the title of the story was?
Reach out and do that.
No, he only hugged people. That was
I know.
The
I
point.
was just saying, reach out and who would say reach out and touch someone?
that
AT&T?
AT&T?
Yes, because it was
MCI? Reach out and touch someone.
because
God, something is burning outside. Maybe it's the countryside.
That's true. Didn't AT&T
Maybe
also
it's America.
say True Voice?
I don't know.
I remember when AT&T had that Whitney Houston commercial. Remember when she sang on their AT&T commercial?
No.
She was like, just keep it real, loud and clear. The real you coming through.
Oh, I do remember that now.
True voice.
I do remember that now.
I called AT&T and asked them where I can get a recording.
Y'all, every time I think I've heard it all.
I forgot about that. My mama helped me find number.
Every time I think I've heard it all, I'm left with another mortifying story.
I recall. Excuse me, are you? Hi.
Where can I get a recording of Whitney Houston on that commercial?
On that commercial, and she said, we've had other people call. None of them have been men. But I'm so sorry, but we don't have that.
And none white.
No, none of them have that.
I
think I was even in high school.
That's sad. Can we
What's
please
happening?
move on to Rebecca?
Are we done?
Yes.
Are we done? Okay, we're done.
God,
done.
I feel like we just spent 3 hours on that fucking farm.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true.
yeah, something's burning outside.
It is. Is something cooking?
I don't think so. Did I?
Let me go check your stove.
Okay, here.
You talk about sex work.
All right, go ahead. I think it should be off. I think it's outside. So you guys, Rebecca and Zied, they finished the dinner from hell with Micah and Tiffany, and now Zied is like, "Show me my home," and then we move on to.
Nothing's burning. You're fine.
Okay, but it smells like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think. Oh,
It's outside.
someone's
isn't it?
cooking outside.
It's really loud, or it's really smelly. So, we walk into their apartment, and we're using and I love it when Rebecca talks without. I love it when Rebecca talks without grammar. We get furniture.
Well, she's trying to
I know, but it's just.
But I'm like,
so
this isn't the best way to help him learn English.
And then she says, "Not have furniture." So we walk in. He's like, "So amazing."
Show me my home.
And she's like, Zied doesn't really seem like himself. He's just, and I'm like, he's fucking exhausted. And
he's tired.
He's had to deal with those two fucking idiots, her daughter and Micah, for a
He's
while.
worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
He had to go to a fucking BJ's brewery and eat a goddamn chicken
and
strip
a shrimp salad.
with some white gravy, which sounds delicious.
And so
Ooh, have you had what's the last time you had chicken strips with gravy?
oh, now I want that.
Oh my God.
So Rebecca's like, I'm very worried because I need to tell Zied something. I need to tell him that we now live in the same building as my ex and I did. And I'm like, no, you don't. It's not a big deal. There was a meme before that says, I need to tell Zied that my ex had sex with me with the same vagina that I have now.
This is like, y'all, they get along so well.
They're so
normal.
so manufactured. I will say,
but you know what? I'm glad they're making money.
I
exposure.
want to have you say this again. So they walk in. There's no furniture. There's a bed on the floor, and you say, I laugh like a crazy person.
I turned to Poodle. I said, Rebecca is a 49-year-old woman with a mattress on a floor. Get it together, girl. Get it together.
I agree.
This is
now,
the metaphor.
I have slept in floor beds, but there is a frame to said bed.
Look, you can have this if several things. You're a yoga teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Reiki teacher. Hey.
Why do you have a bed on the floor if you're a Reiki teacher?
Because you're like into energy or something.
Okay.
Maybe you're a sex worker and you want to have the bed low for clients.
Okay.
There's some if you're a 49-year-old woman who's a
manager at a chicken place. Nothing wrong with
great
that.
Great job. Put your bed on something.
You need to put your bed on something. I know it was that she couldn't get it was too big, but like the sadness of that mattress on the floor. I've been that girl who slept on that mattress on the floor, and I did not like it.
No.
Thankfully, the dick was good.
And
I got out of there before the getting was good.
I mean, you can kind of do stuff on the actually, I don't prefer it low. Like, I've never had sex with somebody on a mattress on a floor.
You're missing out, my friend.
Wow, you're a whore.
Proud of it. I just slept with a lot of people in my 20s who just were kind of...
Just stop there. And the period goes after my 20s.
Yeah, probably a good idea. But I did laugh at she's a 49-year-old woman with a mattress on the floor.
It's true. I mean, come on, y'all. You could get a bed from like Leeds. Well, I think they're closed now.
Where your mattress is free.
But I remember when I moved to L.A., this sounds so ridiculous. When I moved to Los Angeles 17 years ago, I took a loan out against, my car was paid for, that Mazda 626.
Oh my God.
It would roll down the window and go, and they go,
so a terrible, terrible sound. I said, that's the sound of grinding babies.
It's true. And even when I locked the doors, it would go,
I hope that car is rotting in some trash heap somewhere.
Probably. It better be, because it's the same car that had the CD player that the
I'm getting rumor started.
That the Lindsay Lohan rumor CD got stuck in for 2 weeks.
And you drove around
all the time. Y'all go driving at 8 a.m. with no coffee, listening to Lindsay Lohan blaring is torture. Like, if they use that, anybody would confess.
I agree.
So, but I took a loan against my car. My dad co-signed with me, and I remember I got my first little loan book where I had to write out loan.
Remember those?
Yeah,
the loan books?
With the little tear out.
Yeah.
And I remember it was $3,000. And that seemed like so much money then. And I moved out to L.A., and I only had $3,000 to buy like everything I needed. And I found a bed at Leeds for $300. And they delivered it that day, and it was a metal form with a box spring and a mattress on top of it.
Yeah.
So you're meaning to tell me Rebecca doesn't have $300?
You know what?
Fucking dollars. Now,
can't-
that was 17 years ago. Maybe $400.
She can't get it up there in her shopping cart. That's the problem.
That's another concern I have. Who moves shit in a shopping cart?
Now, we did have people come at us. Sometimes lofts, they have shopping carts where people can take things up with them.
Oh.
However, I don't think these shopping carts should stay in people's apartments.
No.
They should be taken back down where other people can
or
use
have
them.
an open place in the hallway.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Choices.
Oh, God, I missed her. That's a good season of Drag
so
Race.
fantastic. I will say,
I like this last episode
You know what
more.
I was thinking about today?
What?
When Valentina wore that mask
Oh.
and she wouldn't take it off, maybe she was ahead of the curve. We're
Maybe.
all wearing masks now.
We're all wearing masks now.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Valentina on Rent Live was not good, though.
No, but Valentina on Drag Race, that was a great
was
song.
my life.
Boy, you got me feeling and I'm here.
I'm a Valentina stan to the death.
I
know you're
didn't
not.
love her. I didn't love her.
It's okay to be wrong.
Do you like anybody so far?
On the new season?
Uh-huh.
I find them lackluster.
I love Simone. The
Yeah.
really thin queen who always wears like hardly any clothes. I think she has star quality. That's what I like about her. I don't love her drag, but I think she has star quality. So much so I followed her on Instagram. And y'all, I can't follow tons of drag queens on my Instagram because it's just overstimulating and it gets exhausting.
I think for me, I'm watching Rosé, but I think it's because
because you want to fuck him.
No, because we fuck the same people, or we've had sex with the same people.
I think
we knew each
talented.
other.
He's just too much. I need a little bit of.
He's a musical theater gay.
I need authenticness in my.
You mean authenticity?
Authenticity, yeah. It's like the ice skating gay. It's too much.
Yeah,
I don't know all the names
get you.
yet.
You know who I kind of like? Who is it? I can't remember their names.
I also love what's her name? Something Iman, the older queen.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of into her too.
Have you watched the latest episode?
No.
So this is real gay. She is the drag mother of the House of Iman.
Oh.
Her drag daughter. Have you ever seen the Wonder Woman of the Atlanta drag queen that fell from the ceiling and sings?
Yes, I remember that.
That was her drag daughter.
I love it how we're talking about Wonder Woman YouTube videos. That puts us in a different level.
This is where
We need to climb out. I got to climb out of this chasm. So, y'all, anyway, Zied wakes up.
There was like 10 girls driving out there that are just queer deers and just went, oh my God, they're talking about drag race.
So Zied wakes up in the
Love
apartment.
y'all.
He's looking for coffee, and he's like,
Coffee.
and
So tired.
he calls his mom every morning.
Mama.
And I liked it when she's like, Tiffany and Micah are basically coming at me because they think I'm going to be similar to the Moroccan fiance, and the mom says, "Your hands and fingers are not the same as his."
I love his mother.
It's a lovely thing to say, and we know he's a mama's boy.
And he said, "Yes, I don't know why they come." She said, "You are breaking my heart."
Yep. So the next thing is Rebecca's coming home,
Yes.
and
Y'all, but I gotta say this again. There's not even a bean bag for him to sit on.
there's no furniture at all.
He can just sit on a little bed. Like, come on, Rebecca.
There is no furniture. You're right.
Nothing. Like, I think this is actually, unless
I'd
Rebecca's
be so nervous in this loft.
It's not that Rebecca lives alone. She
No.
has her daughter. She has her daughter's boyfriend. Like, it's not and she has other children, doesn't she?
I don't know, but she could have gotten some like secondhand furniture and put there.
Just like even if she's like, honey, all I've got is a folding chair and a folding table, but it's at least something for us to like.
Yeah. The next thing is,
I think. Sorry, I got to go off.
no,
on
it's
this.
fine.
But don't you think I love her? I love Rebecca. I love her. I would hang out with her. I'd have a glass of wine with her. We talk about makeup. But don't you think she waits to do everything until the very last minute?
Yes, and that's part of her pathology.
Yeah,
it's part
it's
of
like
her
a self-sabotage.
It's a perfectionism, and she does things at the very last
like
moment.
She waited at the last minute to get divorced.
Exactly.
Yes. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. What if we sang that entire song on this podcast?
No. I love that song, but no one needs 7 minutes of that, of us doing it.
No.
And I would do y'all, don't ever choose that as a karaoke song, by the way. There's this long section in the middle where you will just be there sitting there drinking your drink and everyone else will be staring at you.
Did you choose that song and it
Yes.
happened to you?
This happened to me.
And you look like that narcissistic bitch that everybody thought
And I'm
chose
like,
this song.
y'all, talk amongst yourselves.
Some people, they should make karaoke cuts. Like some karaoke songs should just be a verse in the chorus and then you're out.
There's like music with the motorcycle wreck, like in the song, and I've done baby, baby. It's all before it. It's all coming back to me now. Then it goes into the bridge where she's like, no, and like there's a motorcycle wreck. There's like glass breaking. I'm like looking around, hoping no one will notice I'm not singing. It was a nightmare.
This was gayer than a conversation about drag queens. Wow.
Anyway, it went on for like 25 seconds. And finally to where I could go, there were nights when the wind was so cold. Went on forever. Anyway, so Zied it was sad. Zied gives her a bracelet and after she's picked up his boxes, which look worse for the wear.
Well,
it
they
must
came
have been,
from
It was a long way to Tunisia from Tunisia.
They know they sent that like partial post.
Parcel post.
That's what I said.
Not partial post. Parcel post.
Partial post. That's the way we say it. Partial.
Maybe if you have a partial.
It's the same thing that's in your mouth.
Parcel.
Parcel.
Thank you.
It says parcel.
Sounds like Tarzal.
Parcel sounds like a name for a gay British kid.
Parcel?
Get over here. I'm coming, Mama.
And we find out, basically, you guys, he gives her this little bracelet. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe
It's
you.
a pretty bracelet.
Y'all, and Rebecca's 14 emotionally, unfortunately.
She is a little bit.
And it's a shame. And he basically says, I miss my friends.
I miss friends.
I'm thinking about going home after summer. And she's like, no, you're not. You have to stay here for a year. I don't know the rules to this, but I think Rebecca might be right.
No, I think she's right. And Zied looks at her like, what?
That long? Yeah.
I don't know if he knew what he's getting into.
So much, so long. It's so long.
So then she's like, but Zied, we need to get married this year. And he kind of looks at her, and sometimes I think they're not even close to understanding one another.
No, I hope that English improves for him when he's.
I think it will.
Would do if I was moving over to another country for 90 days, I would really save up my money, and what I would do when I got there to keep myself occupied. What would I do for 3 months?
Duolingo?
I would go and pay and take language classes. In the city.
Yeah, I get you.
Take English or hire someone.
Well,
save the money to do that. It gives you something to do.
I have a feeling that fiancés have done that before, because someone like Yara is pretty good. Yara's English is pretty good.
Yeah.
She messes up some things, but like everyone has different levels. Y'all don't pull over again.
Love y'all.
Y'all send prayers to LA.
And we all need, but it's not great here.
Constancy.
I'm scared to fly tomorrow, but I got to.
Yeah. Your dad's, quote, cancer. Bring me back a scan.
I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing my goggles so nothing gets in. I made Poodle wear goggles when he flew,
I
too.
wore goggles.
He was pissed because you sweated in it, didn't you?
I did, and people looked at me.
I don't care.
That's...
I could put a fucking Metroid helmet on my head.
That's a great game. Remember when you would get in a room and you're like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Yeah. That was Metroid.
Infuriating. Anyway, that's the show.
That's a show, y'all. Sorry, we only talked about 2 people, but Brandon
was
and
too
Julia
much.
were exhausting.
No, and the other 4, you guys are pretty quick.
Well, they were quick, but oh man, we will be talking about
the Mike and Natalie one was really substantial.
We're going to be talking about Jovi and Yara, of course, and
a little
Jovi
bit
having lunch with Gwen and Renette.
A little bit about Tarik and Hazel, also known as Tarzal, and Amira and Andrew
and Amira.
Useless. And y'all, we're going to go before we have another fucking ambulance.
Yes, so thank y'all so much for listening. Be sure to give us 5 stars and give us an Apple Podcast review. Helps with all the new stuff, the new show change. It really helps a lot.
And if you don't know what to write, say, keep going,
Queens.
Going, Queens. I can scream over the ambulance.
And pray for them. Yes, that was an ambulance. They've all been ambulances, sadly, tonight. Y'all, we call these people lonely hearts. Because aren't we all, Poodle, just lonely? We're like lonely farm animals, just out on a field looking for love, right?
We are. And if you have deposited at least 6 milliliters of sperm in a hot tub, call us.